The perfect journal for dreamers has now arrived. It has awesome encouragement to build your faith, great motivation for the woman ready to make moves, and weekly affirmations and prayers for women going places. This is the 52-week prayer and affirmation devotional that every woman of faith needs. Simply go to www.cherylthomas.co/believe and grab your copy today. Hey everybody, how are you doing? Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you are having an amazing Valentine's. Y'all see all the hearts I'm dropping for y'all? See the hearts? Give me some hearts to let me know that you see it. I just want to come on here and first of all apologize for being late. I'm so used to 7 o'clock that when 6 o'clock rolled out, yeah, it rolled by. But I promise you, we're not going to be on here long. I just wanted to jump on tonight. I know this is Valentine's Day and y'all are with y'all booze, your babes, your significant others, your wives, your husbands, having just a good old time. And I don't blame you. I'm not hating. I would be too if I wasn't still single out in these streets. But I just wanted to come on here really quickly just to talk about what I call the fine art of surrender. That's what we're going to be talking about briefly on tonight. Surrendering, making your losses your wins, and how to do that. And so I'm going to talk about 4 things that are going to help you do that on tonight. But before we jump into that, I want you all to do what we always ask you to do, to like and to share. If you are on YouTube, I want you to go ahead and hit that like button. If you're on Facebook, I want you to go ahead and share so that someone else can be or have this made available to them. Even if they're out celebrating on tonight, this wonderful love day, they'll be able to watch the replay right on their stream. So if you'd help me out with that, I'd appreciate it. And also, if we're not following each other, if we're not connected on all my socials, let's get connected. I am Cheryl Thomas Speaks on all my social media platforms. So whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube or Instagram, you can find me at Cheryl Thomas Speaks, and I'd love to connect with you there. So let's jump into our content on tonight. We're going to be talking about the fine art of surrender, and I want to talk about it from this vantage point. We are in week 7 and 8. Week 7 and 8 of my book. We're going through all 52 weeks. Becoming Engaged, Finding the Courage to Believe. If you do not have it already, you heard it in the commercial. You've seen it here. I'm holding it up. But Becoming Engaged, Finding the Courage to Believe. Every other week, we walk through a couple of those episodes, or not episodes, but of those weeks. And so be sure to grab your copy. You can get it at cherylthomas.co/believe. But let's jump into what I call the fine art of surrender. And I want to ask a question. Have you ever believed that, God had, showed you something to do and you've been working toward it and it wasn't happening? If you know what that feels like, I want you to let me know in the comments. Hey Sharon, thanks so much for joining. Oh, you felt the love. You felt all that love dripping, all that love falling. It's so good to see you. Happy Valentine's. I've been watching you, and I want to say publicly, I am so very proud of what you all are doing. If you all have not followed Sharon Grant yet, access granted with Sharon L. Grant. She has a new YouTube channel. Y'all run over right after this on YouTube to subscribe. She's doing some amazing things. And I just want to say I'm so proud of what you are doing. Yes. And hey, Deborah, thanks so much for joining. Thank y'all for giving me a part of yours Valentine's Day, maybe before you head out to celebrate. But I have been in the position where I believe God had told me something to do, and I run really fast into doing it to crickets. Anybody ever felt like they're like crickets? Like, okay, I thought this is what God said to do. And so I had to learn what I call the fine art of surrender. And I'm going to walk you through what that looks like. The first thing is to surrender that dream to God. I can remember just it seeming like everything that I did, I would come up against a roadblock, an obstacle, or slam right into a wall. And I couldn't understand it because I thought it was something that God told me to do, but it wasn't being successful. It wasn't, getting off the ground. It was costing more money than the output that I expected. And so, one of the things that God taught me how to do, and is still teaching me, because I'll say this is still a work in progress, is how to surrender that dream. And so, what I'm going to ask you to do is think about all the things that you believe God is, calling for you to do. And I want you to write those things down, and I want you to give them back. Somebody say that in the comments. Give them back. Give them back to God. Every dream that He's put in your heart, everything that you think He's called you to do, give it back to Him. Because here's what I do know of a truth, that anything that is born of God, He's not going to let it rest. If He's given you a dream, when you give it back to Him, and it's something that He's really called you to do, He's going to give it back to you. He's not going to let you rest without doing it. Yeah, Sharon says she's been there several times. It is going to keep coming up in your spirit. It's going to keep coming up in your mind. People are going to start talking to you about it. They're going to start asking you about it. So if you surrender it to God and you make that God's responsibility to bring it to pass instead of your own responsibility to bring it to pass, then you'll get what I'll talk about on the next thing, is after you surrender it to God, and if He gives it back to you, if He hands it back to you, it's because something didn't happen, and that means that you didn't obey every detail of His plan. You've got to honor the plan that God has given you by doing it and carrying it out exactly how He said it to do it. Don't add your spin to it. Don't think that you know more than God, that, oh, this was a great plan, but I'm going to add this right here and I'm going to do this right here. No, that is not going to work. Yes, Freeman, give it back to God and then follow His direction. Even if you remember the children of Israel, when God told them that when they went into Ai, He told them to go in there and to destroy everything. After they conquered that city, to destroy everything. But one little citizen thought they were smart. And they said, well, you know what, this gold look good. Surely God would want us to take some of these spoils. And it cost the nation because they did not obey exactly. Not it just cost the nation, but it cost that family their lives. And they had to kill the entire family, children, cattle, everything gone, because you have to obey every single detail. And so when you notice in the Bible, when it says, and they did exactly what God told them to do, every inch. When Moses was building the tabernacle, they had to do it exactly how He said to do it. They had to use the materials. So when God gives you a dream, you have to do it exactly how He said to do it. I was teasing my sisters one day, because often in some of my posts, I'll say, repeat after me, blah, 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 blah. And it never fails that somebody is not going to repeat what I said. Somebody is going to repeat it and add some extra. Somebody's going to just say something totally different. And it brought to mind that we have a problem being just obedient, just doing what is told, nothing more, nothing less, just doing what God says. And that is, and I'm not pointing fingers, because that's me too. I've noticed that in me too. I'll do that on posts. Somebody will say such and such and such, and I'll say that and I'll add some extra stuff to it because I'm extra. But we have to learn how to obey instructions. When you obey instructions, when you do it like God said do it, you'll get the results that He has called for you to get. So do exactly what God said do. And number 3 is to invest in the dream. Now, this is where believers have trouble, or the believers that I know have trouble, is investing in that dream. And I'm not talking about just money investment. I'm talking about time investment. I'm talking about research investment. I'm talking about coaching investment. Whatever it takes for you to be masterful at what God has called you to do, invest in that. If God has called you to open a business, invest in coaching to find out what it would require to be successful in that business. Invest in the time research to find out what or who in your city is doing the same thing that you want to do. How successful is it? How many people in that city need what you offer? Invest the time resources into it. Invest the collaborations and the connections that you'll need. Find out who those people are that are doing what you want to do and meet them, talk to them, collaborate with them, get insight from them. So invest in that dream. And that was one of the things that God really, really had to teach me how to do, is to sit down long enough to make the investment necessary to be successful at what he had called me to do. A lot of times God would give me a dream. He would give me a plan. And I'd be like, oh, God has called me to open this business. And I would just launch into the business. I hadn't invested any kind of research into that business. I hadn't gotten any coaching for that business. I hadn't learned or written a business plan for that business. I just launched out to the deep and said, if God said it, I'm going to run right into it. I don't know nothing about it. And God is in this season teaching me how to sit down long enough to learn about what he's called me to do, so that when I launch out into it, I am masterful. I am expert at it. And so that I come at a different vantage point, so that I am doing what he said. Yeah, Sharon, just follow the instructions. Don't add nothing to it. Just do what he said. But then investing in the education that you need to do what he's called you to do. And for me, sometimes I'm just so gung-ho to get started on it, just to get running. But I haven't gotten the skill set that I need to be successful at it. And then I am mad and I'm upset and I'm frustrated because it's not working. But I didn't sit down long enough to learn how to work it. If I would have sat down long enough and been patient enough to learn the business, to learn about the ministry, to read the Bible so that I would know what the scriptures said and know the context of a text, then I wouldn't be frustrated that it didn't happen as quickly as I thought, or it wasn't as powerful. It didn't have the reach that I thought it would have. So invest in it. Yes, Val, that's wisdom. God, if you sit down long enough and you listen to the Lord, he will drop all kinds of wisdom. But you have to be in a place where you are teachable, and that you will listen, and that you will walk out the steps that he is giving you. Sharon says, investing is difficult part for many. I've seen it with people who desire to write a book. They have not understood that it's an investment of time. But absolutely. We want everything now. I was just talking on a podcast last week, is that we've become so in love with the promise, Sharon, that we forsake the process. We think that when God has given us a promise that we get to skip over the process. No, you don't get to skip over the process. David didn't get to skip over the process of running through the desert, running from Saul to be king. Joseph didn't, get to skip the process of being sold into slavery by his brothers, thrown into prison for being accused wrongfully before he reached the palace. There is a process that goes with every promise. And if you're going to reap the promise, you've got to suffer and endure the process, so that you'll have the girth, so that you'll have the wealth, and you'll have the strength to stand up under the promise. So invest in that dream. And then the last one we'll talk about is leverage support. There's a saying is, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with someone. So build a team. And so while you are investing in it, and you're learning about whatever this dream is that God has for you, while you're making sure that you write down every detail, every plan, and every direction that God has given to you, be looking out and have your ears open and your eyes open, ready to receive the team that God is sending you to fulfill it, because you cannot do it by yourself. The thing that God is anointing you to do in this next season will require a team. Somebody put in the comments, a team. It is time out for us trying to do big things solo. You can only accomplish so much by yourself. But when you have the Lord and a team of people helping you, you can do so much more. So don't be afraid to ask people that know more than you. Don't be intimidated to ask people that know more than you do in certain areas, to pull them together on your team. If you are trying to grow on social media and you've been posting and posting with no results, hire a social media manager. Shameless plug, that would be me. Hire somebody that does this and that has seen success doing it. If you want to get more eyeballs on your products and your services, hire somebody that is good at marketing, somebody that's good at Facebook ads and Instagram ads, that is expert at that, so that you can get a broader reach. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Absolutely, Sharon. She said the process is essential. You learn and gain wisdom through the process. Absolutely. There is nothing that teaches you like going through the process. It is a lesson, and if you skip that lesson, you won't be able to hold the blessing. You won't be able to hold the promise. Absolutely, you need a team, a team, a team. God send me a team. And then the last thing, I know I said I was going to give you 4 things, but I'm going to give you a bonus with 5, is to, after you have all of these components together, you need to bathe this dream in prayer. Bathe it in prayer. Be prayerful about the team. Be prayerful about who you're seeking out for coaching and consulting, and who you're pulling on your team. Be careful about making sure that you are combing through the steps and the directions that God has given to you. Be sure that you hold that dream lightly, because you want to make sure that it's a dream born of God and not of your selfish ambitions, not a dream that someone else told you that they thought that you would be good at. And maybe it'd be good for another time, but make sure that the timing is right for the dream that God has given to you. So you bathe all of this in prayer. God, help me to make sure that I'm doing the right thing at the right time, getting the right wisdom to stand under it, and doing it with the right people. That's what you want to make sure. Is this the right dream? Number 2, am I obeying your instructions? Please keep putting your instructions before me, God, so that I don't go off my own knowledge or my own intellect, but that I'm listening to you, Lord. And then, Lord, send the right people with the right knowledge, with the right skill sets, that I can actually gain wisdom for, so that I'm investing correctly. Even send finances, send money into the dream, so that I can finance the dream. And then also, Lord, send the right people. Don't connect me with the wrong people that do not want the success of what you call me to do. So bathe that thing in prayer. And prayer. And that's all I have for you all tonight. I just wanted to jump on here quickly, because I know y'all gonna be in and out on me. But I do want to tell you to be on the lookout. The B Club is coming soon. We're getting ready to do some fun things. Our first outing is going to be our concealed weapons class, learning how to shoot, learning how to get prepared. And so look out. That information will be coming to you soon. So we're excited to launch the B Club. We're just going to be some women that's getting together just to have fun, fellowship, learn some good skills, learn some tools, and hang out with one another. So I'm so geeked and so excited about, I've got a couple, we're going to do them quarterly. And so I have at least 3 good ones that I'm doing already. So, but if you all have suggestions of things that you'd like to do, if you are in the North Central Florida area, just put them either in the comments or send me an inbox. And I will give this disclaimer: I don't check my inbox very often, so you might want to put that in the comments, because I always look at the comments. But it's rare that I check my inbox. Just FYI. So shoot me any kind of suggestions that you like. Again, you all, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you are having a super amazing day, and that on this evening, even if you don't have a special Valentine, I heard a preacher say that God is not your Valentine, but he's the lover of your soul until you get one. And so we thank God for that. And if this has been a blessing to you, the weeks that we've been doing this, you can always feel free to hit up and support us on the Cash App that allows us to be able to bring this content to you. The Cash App is my name. It's $ Cheryl Thomas speaks. Cheryl Thomas speaks. You can feel free to jump on there. And if you are techno savvy and you just want to do that on a QR code, look here. See how I look out for y'all? All the avenues available for you to be a blessing to the ministry. I would appreciate it. And thank you, Sharon. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the information. And you all, I love you all with the love of the Lord. Be sure to follow Sharon and to make sure that you connect with her and all that she is doing as well. And I look forward to seeing you all on the next time. Happy Valentine's Day.